When welfare was designed, it was to help people get back on their feet when their lives had fallen on hard times. The problem is that people follow the path of least resistance, and when handouts are given, they tend to quickly become dependent on them. When personal pride dies, people have no problems living off the hard work of others. Welfare is a term coined about the many programs that were established by the Social Security Act of 1935. The Great Depression was in full swing, and at one point, 1 in 4 families was either unemployed or underemployed. The act was designed to help the poor help themselves. Social Security was established for the elderly and health insurance for the disabled or those who were injured while working. Unemployment laws were also created at this time, as well as new taxes to fund all these new expenses. The act changed many times throughout its history, however, one issue remained all the way through, and that was that all programs are abused and failing. Just look at the issues with the Social Security system in America today for a perfect example. Now that we know which law created welfare, I want to talk about how they're being exploited. One of the primary ways is through the use of fake names. A man can walk into a welfare office under one name and receive his food stamps. He can then go to another welfare office, change his name on that application, and possibly receive those exact same food stamps. This is, of course, a criminal act, and if caught, the man will be incarcerated. However, it happens often. Another way is through straight out lying on the applications. This can be done through the use of false statuses or by claiming non-existent dependents. In 2010, the Los Angeles Times reported that 24% of new applications in San Diego County contain fraudulent claims. There are many reasons for committing welfare fraud, but they all boil down to one main issue, and that is money. It costs money to live and even more money to live comfortably. If you do not have a job to receive this money, then you cannot do either. Unemployment checks is one potential answer. However, these unemployment checks have a lifespan. There are requirements for receiving them, and when that time is up so those requirements are no longer met, the individual must make a choice. They can either get a job or they can start trying to receive those checks fraudulently. There's many ways they can do this. They can fake sicknesses and potentially receive healthcare checks. They can go and do short employments and then get right back on the unemployment line, or they can lie about their identity and just try to claim the same products for a different name. Unemployment checks alone, however, are not enough to live comfortably, but when coupled with multiple welfare programs can become very profitable. One way to do this is by adding the number of dependents that you're claiming on your application. New York Times reported of a case, Dorothy Woods, who claimed for 38 non-existent children when she was finally caught. Another way to do this is through the use of false identity. The Associated Press reported on Linda Taylor, who received $150,000 in medical welfare costs under the use of 14 different names. She traveled from district to district using many different disguises and over 100 different names before she was finally caught. The coin Welfare Queen was based off of Linda Taylor. Closing, I want you to remember these facts. Welfare was created to help people in troubled times, and it does to a point. The problem is that it is abused to such an extent that it is not a viable option without significant reform. It costs too much for you and I to pay for when there are so many that refuse to work for themselves to get the same thing. Not only do we have to work to support our families, but we have to work to pay for the welfare of others to support theirs as well. During this recession, life is hard enough, and by being forced to pay for others' welfare, I may very well end up on the same program that I don't even believe in.